Well, good morning from day 3. I left Laughing Heart a few minutes ago and I'm heading down to town to go to the Smoky Mountain Diner to get some breakfast. Thankfully they open at 6. It's 6:44. So, I'm a little nervous about today, to be honest. I'm estimating I'll be on trail by 10. And then, start out with a nice big climb. It was definitely better than starting from town, but still a little nerve-wracking. It's hot and I have a headache this morning, a pretty bad one. So I'm just hoping everything works out okay, that I have my groove today again. I gotta do 12 today. Tomorrow's a 15.5. That's a little higher than I normally do. A little out of my comfort zone, just a mile and a half out of my comfort zone, but yep, so peace till later. Walking in the hot springs is pretty cool on the sidewalk. You got these AT symbols instead of blazes. I like, very nice. Show you another one coming up. Yep. Good way to make sure you're going the right way too. Alrighty, till later. So I am at the Smoky Mountain Diner. I came down here way too early. I don't know why I came down so early. I get anxious about time, but anyway, so I had a really freaking good breakfast. Breakfast was so good, and the portion was huge. So that's in the previous picture. Couldn't finish it all. Their omelets, usually I don't like omelets, I like them scrambled, but they had the omelet, and then it was just stuffed to the gills, full of stuff, tons of cheese on top. I don't think I've ever had such a good omelet before. But anyway, so I'm really early and I have to wait about an hour for them to get here. So anyway, I'll probably go to Dollar General when they open, look around, waste some time. But they were nice enough to tell me it was no problem to sit out here and wait. So till later. On the trail, hiking. I forgot that I had Firescald Knob today, so first I heard it was a rock scramble, then I read some comments on Gut Hooks that it's not, so we'll see. I'm fully loaded up with 4 days worth of food to get me to Irwin, and yeah, so we'll see how this goes. Hoping for the best. So far so good. So yep, till later. I love these little tunnels. Haven't started the climb yet. I guess that's after Log Cabin Drive, so I gotta get there first. So hey, I'm sitting at the water source for Little Laurel Shelter, cameling up before I finish my climb up this mountain. It has had its steep parts and it's had its easy parts. Not really switchbacked. Wish it was more switchbacked, of course, but it's not terrible. I just don't really like steep climb. Not gonna lie, just being honest here. So anyway, I've got a few miles to go. I'm going to Jerry Cabin Shelter. So I think I have about between 7 and 8 miles left for the day. So, all right, now I'll update later. Peace. Oh, I don't think there's a view at the top either. So that's always worth the climb. Peace. Hey, I had really good service for a while. I talked to Monkey Poo, helped me get through that last little bit on the climb. I'm now finally over that climb. It's 2:30. I still have miles to go. How many? I do not know. I think 5, 6, somewhere in there. So a few more hours of hiking. So hopefully I can make up some time. See how Firescald goes. It's a sunny day, so there's no rain. So I don't have to take the bad weather bypass trail. So we'll see. Like I always say. So till later. Peace. This is White Rock Cliffs. So that's the bad weather trail. This is the exposed ridgeline trail. I am taking the exposed ridgeline trail. I'm gonna live on the edge, live dangerously. Yeah, so I heard it's not really a rock scramble. Well, I can't say that I heard that. I read that. So I Googled it beforehand, and some comments were that it was, and then Gut Hooks, people commented it wasn't. So it can't be any worse than what I've done in the Whites or Lehigh Gap or anything like that. So yeah, we'll just see how this goes. I think I've said that like 10 times today. Wow. So I'm going over Firescald Knob. Wasn't bad getting up to it. It was just rock steps. And then there's been a little bit of more difficult rocks. It reminds me a lot of Massachusetts. So getting through it. It's still in more of like a rock step than a scramble. Only once had to use one hand. That's because I'm short. If you're taller, you'll have no problem through here. All right, taller than 5'2", that is. Peace. So I did it. Jerry Cabin Shelter now. About Firescald Knob. If it's a nice day, I would highly advise not taking the bad weather bypass trail and just sticking to the AT. It's not undoable. It's not particularly difficult. Lots of rock steps. Some areas were kind of a little bit of a rock scramble, but nowhere where you needed to like put your hands down. I mean, like I said earlier, there was one place where I put one hand down just to push myself up because I'm short. Outside of that, really wasn't bad. So I have heard there's a rattlesnake living in the fire pit at Jerry Cabin Shelter. So we'll be sure to set up my tent far away from that. But that's where I gotta go today. So I gotta get to that shelter. I need water, and it is 5 o'clock. So till later. Might need to go to sleep. Tired. Today was a rough day. The one climb took me a really long time. And it kept popping in my head, what am I gonna do in the Smokies next year? But I gotta remember that's next year, and hopefully I won't get sick or injured in the meantime and be able to train throughout the winter and stuff like that. So, but my asthma is my asthma, and that's not gonna change regardless. So anyway, I can just go earlier in the year when it's not as hot. But there's a church group here, and that was nice. One kid played some snippets of songs, and everybody sang along, and now they're all just kind of goofing off, getting wound down for bed. And tomorrow I go for Big Butt and some unnamed climb that looks a little intimidating. And then I'm planning on going to Hogback Ridge Shelter, just 15.5 miles from here. And I met a couple hikers that are doing a long hike, just kind of seeing how far they can go. One's trying to get to Dragon's Tooth, where he left off last year, and the other one's just going to see how far he can get by August 15th, which is my birthday. So anyway, good day, and tomorrow will be even better. Peace and good night.